friends, it is Chelsea, and welcome on back to another plan with me. I am sharing the week of February the 16th through the 22nd of 2026, and I used the I'm a Fake kit from Pink Planner Shop, and I paired with it some solid magenta underlays as well as these emo something underlays in black from Planahana. I thought they looked really good together, and the combo and the base of the spread I think looked really good. I didn't pull much extra in. I ran out of my monthly scripts that I put in the top left corner, so I did pull one that I had in my stash. That was a printable from Planner Pixie Co. I have used this kit, this art in the past. I used it a few years ago, and I don't even remember now which. I'm assuming I used it to mark a concert that we went to, but I don't remember who it was or anything like that. But that was from Planner Pixie Co. But that was an older format of her kits, and I wanted a newer format, so I chose to use the this new printable kit from Pink Planner Shop instead. The reason I used this kit this week was because on Saturday, my sister and her boyfriend and I ended up going to see 3 Days Grace with I Prevail and The Funeral Portrait. I have really come to love The Funeral Portrait. I've seen them before. My sister was the one who really introduced me to their music, and I really enjoyed their songs and the energy that they have, and I hope that they never, because right now they're so amazing about, being interactive with fans, and I almost said clients, interacting with fans and just showing how grateful they are to those who listen to their music, and I hope that they never forget that, because that is something I don't feel like you see a lot of, especially nowadays. Also, before I forget, if you hear any like weird squelching noises or any noises in the background, the squelching noises is my dog. She's having some intestinal issues. And then just random noises my niece is hearing. She's 3, almost 4, and she doesn't know how to keep her voice down. So I will try to keep the interruptions from her to a minimum, but you're going to hear the squelches. As far as work was concerned this week, Monday they canceled school, and I think it was because of fog. I really didn't have anything to do this week at work. I really haven't had anything to do at work for a while now. So yeah, you'll see. I think I marked starting Atmosphere like the week prior, on Saturday. I don't think I actually touched it until Monday, and I just read the entire book while I was at work. After work, I did have to go and get gas, and then my mom had asked if I would get a prescription picked up for her. And then, I marked reading, I guess. And then on this day, the women's U.S. Olympic hockey team played Sweden, and they won 5-0, which is incredible. Tuesday, it was Lunar New Year, and I had to work, and I started reading Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I did have to leave early to go to the dentist this day. This was just a cleaning, and then he told me that I need to get a tooth filled. I swear he had filled this tooth before, and I'm wondering if he just did like a patch job on it because he was fully expecting me to get a bridge done. So this tooth is next to a space where unfortunately I had to get a tooth pulled. And he's really wanting me to get a bridge, but I don't know about you guys, but I don't have $600 laying around in order to get a bridge. So I told him just fill the tooth. So, I ended up going. My main plan on this day was to find a new pair of dress shoes. And I had looked on Target's website, and I found a pair that I liked for the most part, but and I could buy them online, but I was reading reviews, and a lot of them were saying that you needed to try them on because they didn't fit quote unquote true to size. And so I was like, well, maybe I can pick, maybe I can get them where they have a size close to what I need at the store, and I can just try them on and go from there. And when so I stopped at Target. That's where my first stop was, to look for shoes there. And they didn't have even close to a size that I needed. So I couldn't even try anything on there. They had not a very good selection of dress shoes. I guess I'm looking for more of a Mary Jane style with like some form of a ballet flat, but with like a strap over the top of the foot, because I don't know. I feel like if you buy a ballet, and maybe this is just me, but I feel like if you buy a ballet flat, and they're not like super tight on your foot, they tend to just, for me anyway, they tend to just slip off. And so I was thinking, okay, I buy the ballet flap with a strap over the top of the foot, then it would hold the shoe in place better. And I ended up going to Meijer. I left Target and went to Meijer. Well, I got Dunkin'. So I went to Target, then I went to Dunkin', and then I went to Meijer, and I found a pair of shoes. They're not exactly what I wanted. I have not gotten a chance to wear them because, like, I think it was like the next week it snowed again, and so it was back to wearing boots, and I just didn't want to wear flats because I don't want my feet to be wet and cold all day long. So we did not. That kind of ended up being a fail. But like I said, I did go to Meijer. I ended up buying a pair of shoes. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to wear them. But when I left Meijer, I decided to try Dutch Bros. They just put a Dutch Bros in Muncie, and I wanted to try it. I had a free drink offer for signing up for the app and signing up for the rewards, downloading the app. So I ended up getting, what I wanted was an iced coffee, but they don't offer iced coffee, because I was looking at their, like the description of their quote unquote iced coffee, and it's espresso. And I'm like, this is a latte. I don't want a latte. I want iced coffee. So I don't think I'll be getting from Dutch Bros anytime soon again. And I feel like it's obviously way more expensive than than Dunkin' is as well. Anyways, on Wednesday, I went to work and I did read. The men's U.S. Olympic hockey team played Sweden on this day, and they won. I did put in an application, and then I also made dinner and did the dishes. I don't remember what I made for dinner this night. Thursday, I did work and did some reading. The women's hockey team played Canada on this day, and they barely won. And then I had a YouTube binge. Or no, was this the gold medal game? Hang on a second. I think this may have been the gold medal game. Yeah, that was the gold medal game. So they actually beat them. They did barely win. They won in overtime. This is like the last 4 times I think that we've met Canada in the finals. It's been in overtime, which I think is insane. So, but they had a beautiful score and an incredible season, an incredible Olympic season. I think the goalie gave up 2 or 3 goals the entire Olympics, which is incredible. And I talked about this, I think last week, how different it is watching the Olympic teams versus like what is it? I think it's EHL. Eastern Hockey League maybe is where the Comets and the Fuel and the Heartlanders and all that are in the league together, and the hockey league together, and it's just insane watching the difference between the teams. I don't know. I was just like watching the Olympics teams, especially the women's team. The women's team is so incredibly good, and it was just like, this is what hockey's all about, other than the fact that they are not allowed to fight in the Olympics. Like, they will literally be kicked out if they fight, so they don't fight. So yeah, that was the gold. That was the game for the gold medal. Friday, I went to work and finished Beautiful Ugly. The men's hockey team still had some games, so they played Slovakia on this day. And then I did make dinner and do the dishes on this night. I think this was the night that my parents left, and I attempted to make orange chicken. I don't feel like it really worked out, but we tried. And then I just had a YouTube binge to end the evening. On Saturday was kind of rough mentally. I went over, I had to get my tire changed. It had a bulge in it again. And so I went over to my friend's, the mechanic shop where my friend works, and his boss actually changed my tire, but his place of work changed my tire for me. So I went and got a coffee, and I got my friend a Coke, which is funny because he was like, he comes in and he's like, please tell me that's not for me. And I was like, yeah, it is. And he was like, oh my God. He said he had brought a Coke. 2 other people brought him a Coke, and then I brought him a Coke. So he had 4 Cokes, which I was like, it could be worse. But I got my tire changed. Kind of had a little bit of a mental breakdown because, the tire was $145 or $149, and I had $150 in my bank account basically. And then I was obviously getting ready to go to a concert. So I got ready for the concert, and then I'd asked my mom if I could borrow some money from her and my stepdad. And my mom said, you need to ask my stepdad. And every time I ask this man for money, I feel awful about it. I don't like to do it. It's not something that I want to do ever. And so I had a mental breakdown, and and the problem is that like, he will give me the money. It's not an issue of whether or not he'll give me the money. It's the fact that there's got to be a lesson involved with it. And I'm like, dude, I don't think you understand. Like, I don't want to sit here and ask you for money. I don't need a lecture. I'm just saying. So I'd gotten ready, asked him for money, had another mental breakdown, and had to get ready again because I had done a full face of makeup, and I just cried it all off. So anyways, drove to Fort Wayne. I had something I had to drop off in my sister's apartment, so I went and did that and saw her dog really quickly. And then we went to the concert. I got stuck in traffic, and I ended up parking in like the premiere lot, it was only $4 more. But then after the concert, I forgot where I had parked, because when I got to the show, my sister was like, we're in line, the line's moving. So it was either like hurry up and meet up with her, or I was going to have to get to the back, go to the end of the line, and they were going to have to wait for me anyway. So I just kind of ran to where they were, which meant that because when I park in a big parking lot like that, I always try to get my bearings as far as where I am and where I parked and stuff like that. So it was definitely not. Concert was good, other than the people outside yelling at us to repent for our sins. It is what it is. I had a really snowy drive home, and it took me probably a half an hour longer to get home than it would have normally. Sunday, we went and got groceries, we got coffee, we got scooters, and then I did laundry. And I think this was the day that the men's hockey league actually had their final. But anyways, thank you all so very much for watching, and until I see you next time, goodbye.